Him from?
Fix it, Doc, fix it.
But again, I'm really excited. When I talked with Mrs. Klein a couple of days ago, I just told her, again, just how excited I am to come and be here, because to be able to come and speak at a church, that right there is phenomenal. We need more churches that do this. We do it at our church at New Creation, and I am the very proud pastor of New Creation Bible Church in North Little Rock. Been there this year, it's 20 years, and November
All right.
will be 20 years.
That's beautiful.
And it has just been a great thing, because when I first started out, and I wanted to talk about finance, a lot of people saying like, hey, don't nobody want to talk about this stuff. I say, yeah, that's right, they don't want to, but they need to hear it.
Need to.
And so I had to start it out in the pulpit. And my wife, she got nervous. And she was like, you think you may be talking about it too much? I said, well, they still broke. So from that point, I'm very grateful for what God has done in and through our ministry, to have mothers who were once on welfare, on the WIC system and SNAP, and those things, who now gainfully running a business. And so thankful for that, and for families who were just really struggling from week to week, now where they are doing well. For our ministry that was overly in debt when I first got there, and I often talk about when I became pastor, and somebody from the bank, they called me, and they said, congratulations. I'm like, wow. This bank must want to give me some money. And they said, do you know y'all owe us some money? I'm like, no, they didn't tell me that part when I interviewed. And so, but as a result of that, I showed them, like I said, because it was 2 mortgages on the building, and I told them we're going to pay the second mortgage off, and then we're going to pay the first. They said, we can't do that. We've been in ministry this long, but I showed them the strategy and how to do it. So we paid off the second mortgage first, which was the smaller mortgage, and then we paid off the big mortgage on it. And like I said, the building was in really bad shape, and so then we worked the strategy, the next strategy, went forward from that point, got to the place to where we had built up our income, and the bank gladly said, okay, well, we will do a mortgage on the building, a second, if you will. They financed it, and so we were able to, because it was going to take quite a few thousand. Because one of the things that I've learned, because some people have said, why would you get yourself back in debt and do that? Well, it's all about strategy. You may hear me say that 2 or 3 times today. It's okay if I just kind of relax? All right. And it's about strategy. And so when there's something that's called OPM. Anybody, not OPM, but OPM. Anybody know what OPM stands for? What's that?
Office of Personnel Management.
It does mean Office of Personnel Management. It does that. It does that.
I work for the federal government. That's all I know.
Oh, that's okay.
Other people's money.
Other people's money. Absolutely. That right there, that office.
It's my money.
Yeah, all right then, absolutely. And and learning how, I said, using other people's money, because what we could have done, we could have taken the money out of our budget, out of the account, paid for all the renovations, then we've been broke. But what we did, again, in using the strategy, we got I took the loan, paid off that mortgage. We were working at paying that mortgage off. We did it. We would have been done with it, I'm pretty sure, because COVID happened. And but with that, we are well ahead of the payment plan and the program, and where they're looking at, they were talking just a 15-year mortgage, and we are down to under 10 years now. And so I'm very grateful, for that. Again, because it's about strategy. Yeah. As stated in my my bio, that I am married to Lady Gail Dandredge, and that's spelled L-A-D-E apostrophe. And this lady spelled like that because she's no regular lady. And I'm very grateful and glad to be married to her for 34 years. She sends her love. Our grandson is having his birthday party today, And so she is going to, so we splitting allegiance there, if you will. And normally she's with me, but she and my daughter, they're with our grandson, who's having his birthday party on today. But she sends her love, and they told me to go ahead and have fun. So that's what I look forward to doing. I'm always looking forward to having fun, and I want you all to have fun with it today as well. Amen. Amen.
That's how you stay married
Yes,
34
sir.
years.
Sir?
That's how you stay married 34 years.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, but again, to the women of grace, I love how your paperwork there, you have the symbol. I've never seen this before, and I've been in printing. I used to have a printing business, but it's been a few years ago, but never saw that before. Whose idea was that? All right. I should have known. All right then. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Well, our smart board here keep going to sleep, so I'm bored. I guess I'm boring it up. But what I want to do today, again, like I said, we have a twofold. And like I said, now I came up with 1:15. What time is my time up?
When you get through.
When I get through. You can't say that to a preacher. Well, I will be courteous of your time, but I certainly hope that everyone will be able to receive it. Does everyone have a pen? Because there's some things, all right, I want to make sure everybody has pen and paper. I want to make sure everyone has pen and paper. Because from time to time, I may tell you to write that down, okay? So, with this, again, I have been tasked to talk about credit, credit repair, the importance of credit, credit restoration, and then also as far as budgeting. Those two things right there, they really, really go hand in hand. When this client contacted me about that and said that she wanted me to talk on that, perfect, because again, those two things go hand in hand. And a lot of times in people, I was gonna say in our community, but actually there's people, whether they are black people, white people, Hispanic people, but usually the worst of them all, who would you say is the worst of them all? Another set of people.
The worst is what?
Okay, so I named off white, I named off black, I named off Hispanic, and there's another set of people.
Asian?
Huh?
Asian?
Asians? No, well, okay. No, typically not. Typically not. Church people. Church people are, man, it's hard to deal with church folk. It really is. They're trying to get us to change. Now, I'm not talking about you all, because I know y'all at a whole nother level. Y'all at a different mindset. Because that's the key to it right there, is mindset. Let the church say mindset.
Mindset.
Y'all don't mind if I said church, do you? Okay, because we are in church. And even when I'm doing business seminars, that's just gonna come out. What's in you is what comes out, right? And so, it's the mindset. One of the biggest issues with us as church folk is that we do the ultimate of trusting God. Like, wait a minute, that's what we should do. We should trust God. Yes, you should. But here's the question. Does God trust you?
All right.
All right. Are you putting yourself in a position where he can trust you?
That's right.
No.
We'll talk about some things that go on. Just give you a little bit, again, about me. What happened about right at 20 years ago, my wife and I, we experienced a severe financial woe. And when I say woe, I mean woe. I'm talking about the money stopped. We went from gainfully employed down to one income, and we were not making, that one just wasn't enough. And I kept struggling at that particular point, trying to make it happen on my own. Well, we did something, like certainly we were in prayer. went to a financial advisor. And when this financial advisor, he said something to us that just didn't sit well. And what he did, naturally, he gave us a great plan, and this was the free session. The free session, you get one free session, right? And so his was an A and a B session. So he gave us homework, and he says, go fill out this paperwork, and it was massive. So we filled out all this information, everything like that. We had to be truthful, we had to be honest, and that was right there, because it was some personal things on there he was asking about. So when we turned the paperwork back in, submitted it back in, and then we came back for our second interview, if you will, he said, thank you for your honesty, thank you for laying it all out. The first thing that needs to happen for you all, y'all need more income. And I thought to myself, I'm glad this is free. I know that.
Right.
You don't tell me that, I know that, okay? So, but I need to figure out how to work this thing with the income that I presently have until things change. Well, this was the next thing. This was the thing that really didn't sit well with me, that caused us to really leave out the door and say, we're not going to fool with him anymore. And that is, he said, you need to stop tithing. It says, God will understand.
Yep.
And I told him, I said, but I don't understand. I said, because he gave me command. He told me to bring the tithes and offering to the storehouse. I did that. Well, obviously he wasn't going to really hear that. Then he goes to the New Testament. Well, you see, that's Old Testament. New Testament. Okay, well, that's cool. But he still told me to give as a purpose in my heart. And I purpose in my heart to tithe to the church, and I'm not going to stop. He said, well, I already see that you're not going to do what I asked you to do, so this may not work. That's cool. I understand that. No hard feelings. I left there. My wife and I, we left. And then about a month later, if that long, I got a phone call from someone that says, hey, I got an opportunity that may benefit you quite well, you and Gail, quite well. I want you to take a look at it. I looked at it, and it was an opportunity that called for me to do something. Let the church say do something. I had to do something. And I'm like, my goodness. It's one of those things. How many of y'all ever heard of one of those things? Yeah, no, somebody come to you with an opportunity and all this kind of stuff. And you got to go out and recruit, got to do all this kind of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. And he told me, he says, you do not have to recruit. I'm like, oh, let's talk. And then he says, this thing right here, I just want you to take a look at it, but it's going to help you to create, number one, a new mindset about finances. And then number two, show you as far as your credit and your budgeting and all of that. Okay, well, great. And he says, however, it costs about $200 to get started. I'm like, well, that puts me out. Yeah, I don't have that. So I said, well, I'll pray about it. That's what church folk do, right? But I was for real. Most of the time when church folks say, I'll pray about it, that means get out of my face. I'll let you know when I'm ready, and more than likely, I can talk like this because I'm a pastor.
Right.
And when my church members, they don't tell me that no more. They just say, They don't say, I'll pray about it. But what's the thing about it? I went and I prayed. I said, Lord, sounds like a great program. If you want me to be a part of this, you're going to have to provide for me.
That's right.
Okay. I'm believing that you sent this program to us, so let's see. Go on about my business. I get a phone call. And the phone call says, Lord laid it on my heart to bless you and Gail. I'm like, well, praise God. Well, what do you mean when you say bless us? And he says, well, I know it's like I said, you're all, you're consistent, you love God, you're working in the community, working in church, you're pastoring, and but I just want to just be a blessing. Not a whole lot. He said, well, what do you need? Now, what I started to tell him was, oh, about 5,000 to 6,000. I might should have. I don't know if I shorted myself. But what I did was I said, well, I was presented with an opportunity, and it's going to cost about $200 to get started in it. And he says, I got you. Gave us the $200. We got started. That's been, again, about 16 years ago. Yes, ma'am.
Was that a one-time amount, or did you have to pay it back?
Then that was a one-time. That was a down payment, if you will. Yeah, and then I had a monthly membership that I had to pay. Yes, ma'am. Because it gave me a software and all this kind of stuff for us to do everything we need to do. Okay, great question. So as a result of that, we got started. We became members of the program, and the program is called My Econ, which is short for My Economy. I don't know if some of you may have heard of it. Anybody ever heard of My Econ? Okay, My Econ. Again, it's short for My Economy. Everybody say My Economy.
My economy.
You see, it doesn't matter what's going on. I know we in war right now, even though they say we're not. But we're in war right now. Gas prices are going up. They didn't ask us. So we are responsible for our own personal economy, regardless of what the government does.
Yep.
They don't care about us. If they did, they would do some things differently. So we are responsible for that. Again, going back to what I talked about initially, we're talking about mindset. It's about mindset. We have to shift our mindset. Let church say again, mindset.
Amen. Mindset.
About 6 months later, because I followed the plan, me and my wife's financial situation changed like wow. We never imagined they was gonna do this. We followed the plan. We got our credit in shape, and then it really started to manifest at that point. It was so bad, took a turn. But we started getting our credit in shape, and then I said, with the budget, we stuck to that budget that we had created because of the program showing us what to do, and money just started coming in. We had extra money that came in. Wow, okay, praise God. God trusted us because we decided to do something different other than, I'm just trusting God, okay? In 2020, y'all remember when the pandemic started and all this kind of stuff? But when the pandemic started, I was already in the hospital. I was already in the hospital and had 3 heart surgeries, all in 1 week's time.
Wow.
That really put me on my back. As a result of it, I'm wearing this bag right now. I know some of y'all may have seen, says, he got a purse on? No, it's not a purse. It's a heart pump. And so there's a line that's running through my stomach going up here to my heart, okay? I had to learn how to walk again. I was in the hospital for 7.5 weeks. I had to learn how to walk again. I was in a coma. There was one period that they had busted me open and I was laid open for 72 hours. They couldn't sew me back up because I kept having this internal bleeding. All right, so with that, my wife said, when I came out of the coma, and they said, we think he's gonna be all right. They were scared. My wife told me, she says, baby, I was in Nashville, Tennessee, in Nashville at Vanderbilt. And she said, baby, I thought I was gonna be taking you back home in the belly of the airplane in a pine box. You know how they ship folks from different states. But God. But God. So here it is 6 years later. But in that period of time, that 4 year, when four of those years, it's been 6 years, everything went, lost it all again. Credit got jacked up, money disappeared, a couple things going on because my business went down, I wasn't able to operate my business. Praise God for the ministry, it kept going forward, and I But the thing about it was, it wasn't enough. But this was the thing about it. I remember this. In 2018, I wrote these two books. This first book is called A Broke Christian is an Oxymoron. Does anyone know what oxymoron means? Tell me what oxymoron means.
You say like two words together and then it means something like deafening silence.
Absolutely, absolutely. Two words trying to describe one another. Broke and Christian don't describe one another. You say, well, shoot, I ain't got no money. I'm broke. You may not have any money in your pocket, but if you're not broke in your mind, broke in your spirit, because of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, you understand that. You know what? I have access. I got it. I can change this because why? Of my mindset. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. So we got to change our mind. So back in 2018, before I got sick, I wrote this book. So I had to change my mind. But then in 2019, I got together with other Christian finance experts, if you will. And I said, hey guys, let's put together an anthology. Let's put a book together and let different people hear about what we do and how we do it and about the mindset and everything like that, what they may need to do. Everybody's going to talk about something a little bit different, but it all comes back to number one, mindset, and then how you deal with your money. And so while I was down, trying to get myself back, I wasn't trying, because I had something. Again, remember I had to learn how to walk again, everything like that. I moved very slowly. Those 4 years, get my mind, everything wasn't sharp. But then I thought about it. I went back into the office in my home. I said, wait a minute, I got some books. And I started marketing my books. I got people that bought books from Australia. I got people, certainly here in the United States, locals. They saw the book. They said, man, that's an interesting title. People from all around started buying the book. That was income for me. I wasn't broke because I had money sitting back there in my office. I had money sitting at Amazon. When they ordered from Amazon, they paid more. Buy it from me, say you can get it quicker, you can get a discount. I started getting money in my pocket because I started telling my story. I told what was going on. People started buying our book. Then I had my brother. He said, man, he's the one who really gave me the idea. He wrote the success recipe, and I'm one of the authors on it. So I'm an author of three different books. I started marketing that book. Money started coming. Now I'm telling you, like, well, why is he telling us all this? Because I want us to get past that point. I'm not saying that you all may be, that you're expected to be an author, or anything like that, but somebody has a story in here that somebody else needs to hear. And I can help you with that as well. I can point you in the direction for that as well. But the thing about it is about mindset. And we have to change the mindset of the people in our community, people in our churches. We have to change and not indoctrinate our children with the same mindset that we've had. Okay? Now, once we get past that, because most of the time, when we're talking about, I'm ready now if you can go live. Most of the time what happens is that most people think, well, it's not gonna do any good. It's not gonna do any good. Fix my credit. Man, I just do what I need to do. I'm gonna do what? Trust in the Lord.
Okay.
And the Lord is telling us, you need to get your credit fixed. You need to create your budget. It says, and I will show you, I will direct your path. Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. Very familiar passage of scripture. Trust in the Lord
Lean
with
not.
all of your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. And in all of our ways, acknowledge him. And he will do what?
Direct your path.
He'll do what?
Direct your path.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. He'll do what?
Direct your path.
Okay. If you look in any translation, no, path is it, but there's an S on it. Paths. Every last one of you acknowledge God. Parenting, marriage, job, finances. If you acknowledge God, he will direct your paths. So I said, Lord, I'm on the path now. My credit's messed up. And I need to get my credit. I don't even know what my credit score is. Most of us don't know until we go try to buy a car or get a credit card, buy a house, and then we find out that, because our score is what it is too low. And you might get the financing, but it's gonna be a high interest rate. Do y'all know that your credit also helps determine the kilowatts of what you pay for your utilities? Yeah. You can have two houses built at the exact same time, exact square footage, same units, same amount of people in the house, running their units at the same rate. But one could be higher than the other. And it can be based on your credit. They don't tell us that. So don't tell me credit is not important. Because it is. All right, let's get ready to go in. Okay, looks like I have to stay around here. But what I'm getting ready to do now, I hope that this will, does the sound come through here also?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run a minute and 56-second, I believe it is 54-second, video concerning this credit system. But then after that, we're gonna go through and we're gonna look at it. Okay.
Hello, and welcome to the My Credit System, your step-by-step blueprint for taking control of your credit and transforming your financial future. I'm glad you're here, because this isn't just another credit course. This is a system designed to equip you with real knowledge, practical tools, and the confidence to take strategic action starting today. Whether your credit needs a reset, you're rebuilding after a setback, or you're starting completely from scratch, you're in the right place. Here's what you can expect throughout this training. No fluff. Just clear explanations of how credit really works. Real-world strategies that work today, not theories. Templates, tools, and resources you can use immediately. And most importantly, a step-by-step roadmap for building and protecting your credit long-term. Each module is laid out the same to keep your learning experience smooth and focused. Here's how it works. At the top, you'll see the training video. That's where we'll walk through the core concepts together. Below that is a summary explanation, giving you a quick written recap of what you just learned. Then, we've included additional resources to take your learning even deeper with extra tools, bonus tips, or links that add value. Next, we've got a powerful FAQ section. Read those carefully. They answer the most common and most important credit questions you may have. And finally, hit mark as complete when you're done, so you can track your progress along the way. You'll also notice a navigation bar on the left, which lets you jump to any section or module you desire. However, it is highly recommended that you take this course in the order presented for the best experience and results. This journey is about more than just raising your score. It's about regaining control, building financial credibility, and creating new opportunities for yourself and your family. So let's get started. Click mark as complete and let's visit the next module.
That right there was just an overview of the software. And I'll tell you that when me and Gail took the course concerning the credit, it wasn't audio, it wasn't video. It wasn't video, there was some audio to it, but everything was reading, and there was a notebook that was this thick. And that's what most of the time disqualifies, I said disqualifies, but where people stop when they see, you know, I mean, I gotta read. So you know what they say about black people and reading, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe that, but it can happen. And so with that, they updated the system that shows you step by step what you need to do to fix your credit. Now, you will hear, not from here, but you will hear people say, you don't need no stuff like this. All you got to do is go to ChatGPT. Anybody ever heard of ChatGPT?
Mm-hmm.
You say, well, never heard ChatGPT, but I do know about Google. Anybody know about Google?
Yes, sir.
My 82-year-old daddy, before he died, that was one of his things. Google it. He found out about that. That was his thing. But if you notice that in your ChatGPT, it will tell you that I can make a mistake. I may not put all of it in. Google will tell you the same thing. It really does. If you go through and like you did, it will let you know that, in other words, do your research.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research. There are people who have left out some valuable steps, which they were following chat. Now, I use chat. I use chat all the time. But guess what I do? I do my research. I do my research. And so I want to encourage you there. Don't just leave it to chance concerning your credit. All right. One of the things here, one of the first things that you want to do is you want to get your credit report. All right, when you get your credit report, to get your credit report, you may want to write this down. You go to annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com. This is vital. ChatGPT will tell you that, okay? This is vital because you need to know where you are so you can know where you're going, okay? So when you go to annual credit report, I'm gonna let you know, like it's gonna give you, once a year, you can get it for free, get your report for free, of the 3 main credit bureaus, or agencies. They're not bureaus, but agencies. And that's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. So you can get that, okay? So with that, again, it's not gonna give you your score, but it is gonna show you stuff that's on your credit, whether it's good or bad. And this is the key. The key to looking at your report is making sure and finding out if there's anything on there that should not be on there. That's what you're looking for, to find out what should not be on there. These are the things here also that we need to understand and know, that when we look at our credit reports, you may look at it, I want you to look at it very closely. And when you look at it, I looked at mine, and I've seen Dandridge. That's not my name. Daryl Dandredge is not my name. My daddy left me 2 things. He left me his name and a house when he died. And his name is Dandredge, Redge, not I. I've also seen on my report my address. When I saw it in particular, at that time I was living at 7224 Woodson Road. But I've seen on my report number 2. Like it was an apartment or something. Duplex. Where did this come from? Well, guess what? That was not my address. The federal government, the agency, the bureau, which is a bureau, says, do we have a timer on? Do you know how to adjust the time by chance?
No, it just, keep moving.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, the federal government, what they will, have written into law is that if on your credit report, your information is incorrect in any kind of way, they said that is not your bill. You said, but I know it is. I know that. I'm the one that I owe it. Well, the law says you are not responsible for that. Because whoever it was that set up that account, the lender that set up the account, what they made an error. Now you can pay it if you want to, but if you don't want to, I mean you don't have to, because the federal government stated that you don't have to do that. Any questions at this point? I hope you wrote down annualcreditreport.com. You can get your free credit report once a year with everything that has been reported. Anything that's on that report that is not accurate, you want to dispute it. Anything that's on your report that is not accurate, dispute it. That dispute could be, as far as name or address. Let me give you another one. If they say this is your account number, usually every bill or whatever has an account number, right? But if on this statement, the statement says XXXX4239, that is not your account number. So don't fall for that. Because what's happening in most instances, and we may see this, in most instances, is there are what you call junk collectors. Y'all ever heard of junk collectors? A junk collector is a company, a third-party company, that just say that the bill has not been paid, and the company been sending out collections to you, sending letters to you, and then at the end of the year they decide, say, well, we're just gonna write this off. So when they write it off, and it's charged off, so it no longer, the government gave them credit for it. So it's just like you paid it. It's just like you paid it. Then another company would come in and say, okay, well, give us all your junk collections. Instead of just say the bill was $500. We'll give you $200 or less, because usually it's pennies on the dollar. Just give us that for $100, $200. And they say, okay, they sell it, so now they done made $200, the original company. Now this company, the junk collector, what they would do is they come after you, and they start calling you, they start hounding you, and this is what you should tell them. If you look in your packet that was handed out to you, you should see handling debt collectors. Does everyone get a packet? Everybody get a handout? If you didn't get a handout, please raise your hand. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I want you to see it too, bro. Absolutely. I'm certainly glad that you're here. Certainly glad that you're here. Okay? You say it's handling debt collectors? This right here gives you a format, if you will, and how to deal with them when they call you or they send you letters, everything like that. One of the big ones, like I said, just let them know, first of all, like I said, you answer the phone. Oh, this junker that got slick, haven't it?
Yeah.
Spammers and all that. I had someone call me the other day that I knew it was from the state, because my wife used to work for the state before she retired. It's 501-682, whatever the number was. And I'm like, who calling me from the state? And it was a spammer. Like in this case, they were trying to sell me something on Medicare. And I'm saying, boy, and I'm saying, all these numbers, they look local now. They're in our areas, numbers that you may recognize, maybe close to it. But this is when, if you answer and say, hello, tell you something, Ms. Klein called me, what was that, Thursday? I think it was Thursday. Yeah, and she called me and I was in the back, I was getting ready to leave, and I went to the back of the house and left my phone, but I had my earpiece in. And so, and I'm like, well, cause I was looking for a call. And so the way I answer is, hello. And she says, Pastor Daryl? And I'm like, yeah. She says, everything all right? You usually all happy and joking. I said, who is this? She said, it's just Klein. I said, oh, hey, how you doing? You know, because I just see her name, you know, pop up on my phone because it wasn't with me. And so, you got to be ready for these jokers, right? But here, as far as dealing with the debt collectors, if they call and they say, you know, I'm calling about a bill, you owe this bill, and now I know, like now with my phone, now I got since one of the last couple of updates, I can record a phone call. I can just hit the button, and that's a wonderful thing. And they're here. Beep. This call is now being recorded. And you can let them know I'm recording this call, and it is my right under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Stop calling me. They shouldn't be calling you. If anything, send you a letter. And you can let them know to send me all notifications from this point. Send me a letter with the information. Then you know what to do with it. Information is on here, handling debt collectors. Okay? So, oh shoot. Why y'all tell me that? All right. Any questions?
Yes, sir, Pastor.
Yes, sir.
I've heard it said that sometimes they will ask, is this so-and-so? And when you say yes,
Ooh, yeah, good.
they will record your yes and use it for something else.
Absolutely.
To say that you agreed to it when you were just answering the phone. So when someone asks, is this so-and-so, you tell them, how may I help you? Or who am I speaking with? But don't say yes.
Do not say yes. Absolutely. I know of a person, personally, that it happened because, I'd heard it on the news or somewhere. It wasn't even on TikTok, or, you get so much stuff on social media. But this right here, it was 2020 or something. They was talking about, no, dude, this has been a long time ago. And someone that I know, a friend of ours, answered the phone and they said, is this so-and-so? And said, yes. And they hung up. And like, what was that all about? And then later, the information started popping up. It was saying that you agreed to this, you agreed to that. No, I didn't. It said on such and such a day and time, you said yes, but it was about a whole lot of different stuff. And they recorded her voice, and they played it back for her. She said, I do not know who you are. I don't know. So, absolutely, sir. Do not say yes. Yes. How may I help you? Who is this? Who's calling, please? But never, ever say yes. Okay. So we talked about as far as, the errors and things like that, and like I said, we'll go through here. Because what I want you to see is the importance of, the importance of your credit and knowing what to do. There is, anybody ever heard of freezing your credit, freezing out your credit bureaus? Okay. There's a couple of them that, groups that you can freeze, because you can freeze your Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Y'all familiar with those? Y'all familiar with those three? So you can freeze that, and so what that basically does is set it up so that no one can run false credit or credit on your report. And when it's frozen, you can't even run it. Okay? I went in, and like I said, I know my stuff was getting better. I told you that I went through my credit, and so I started wanting to increase my credit line. And so when I contacted contacted my credit card, and I said, I want to increase my credit line. Don't tell me immediately. I'm like, what? What is going on? Then it dawned on me, after a while, oh, my stuff is frozen. So I can do it. Now, as soon as I went in and taking the freeze off, because you can do a temporary freeze or you can do a permanent freeze, removal. And so you can go into Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, in the account, you can Google it, you can set up your account. You have to set your account up. And once you do that, then you're able to freeze it or unfreeze it. You can do a temporary freeze, because my wife and I, we bought a car back in October. So when I got ready to start looking, I unfroze those accounts, but I did a temporary. So when I set the time frame for when I want to do it, because I know that these, because we were going to finance, I know that these car dealerships, what will they do? They will start running your credit, and they, say, oh yeah, no, it ain't gonna, it's going to be a soft hit. But don't trust all of them. Don't trust any of them, because they do a hard hit on your credit. That brings your score down, and you out there searching for vehicles. So that's why other parts, you need to know what you're going to buy and know what you're going to pay. That's a whole another lesson. That's another step. And so we were able to, and we got this particular vehicle for way less, because they got tired of fooling with me, but they wanted to get that car fly. So again, it's about mindset. Now my wife was like, man, we got the money going. Girl, you better be quiet. Yeah, and now she's happy, because we got cheaper payment than was, I'm talking about like $250 cheaper a month, and so that made a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then there's the other units, credit agencies that you can freeze as well, and you want to freeze them, and the two main ones is Nexus, I always say it backwards. Nexus, Nexus, Lexus, Nexus, Lexus. Write that down. And then there's INNOVTIS, Innovatus. Anybody know what? I'm sorry, I should know that. But we don't deal with that one often. That's the one they don't really talk about. But LexisNexis, that knows everything about you and your credit, about your jobs that you've had, and both of them do. But all this information, they know everything about you. It's kind of like your MIB. Y'all familiar with the MIB, the Medical Information Bureau? They know all of your medical history. So Nexus is somewhat the same way. So you want to freeze those, and what that does, it really keeps them from going deep on you, because you don't want folks in your business, okay? Because if they go out and they dig up stuff from years gone by,
Yeah.
they dig up stuff from years gone by, well, what happened is, it'll show up on your credit report, and then you're gonna have the dickens when you're trying to refinance or finance something, or increase the credit limit, or whatever, because you say, like, where did this stuff come from? And that's why it's important to know about your credit limit. I mean, your credit, what's your credit report? What's on the credit report? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Am I helping anybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Let me see here. It's looking different from you from this angle. All right, here's our next one. We talked about, let's go, we're gonna look at dispute letters. There are several dispute letters. Most people know about one or two dispute letters. The letter is sent to the Fair Credit Reporting Agency. if you look, can y'all see that on here, the letter names? See that?
Yeah.
All right. You got, identification dispute, verification dispute, method of verification, 609 credit report request, the FCRA violation letter, the intent to litigate, reinserted deleted item, obsolete account not mine, goodwill letter, escalation complaint. So here's a bunch of letters that, again, most people only know about the identification dispute, the verification, meaning I need to verify that this is my account, but it goes deeper than that. I was talking about the identification dispute. We're talking about where they misspell my name. Okay, so go on there, and if they find where this, they can correct it, then we have to go ahead and pay it. Do what we need to do. All right, most people never heard of the 609 credit report request. Anybody ever heard of that? That one is request disclosure of original source and documents related to an account. So in other words, you telling them, hey, y'all saying this is mine. I'm sending you this letter, the 609 credit report, this letter saying that what you need to do is prove to me that this is my account. And most of the times, 99.9% of the times, the original debtor is not going to provide all of the information to that junk dealer, because they're not even trying to, like, give us some money for it, you got it, it's you. Okay, but here, now you can send that letter to them and say, hey, I need to know, I need for you to prove to me how you know that this is my account. And then most of the time, they'll, say, okay, well, these folks are serious. Yes, sir.
That last line where it's speaking about days, is that like the time limit that we have to execute?
That is the response time from them. They have a response time, thank you. They have once they receive the letter, and you have to know when they receive that letter. You get certified with return receipt, the green card. Yes, sir.
Is there a place where you can get that list of letters on the internet?
Well, yes, you can, if you will, you can go to credit report, go to the FCRA, Federal Credit Reporting Agencies, and ask for the list of names of letters. The FCRA. So you can Google that, and it will show you these letters. There's another set of, we're talking about the response, because once you send that letter to them and you see the date that they received it, depending on the type of letter that you sent, determines how many days they have to respond. Okay? How many days they have to respond. So in the identification dispute letter, for instance, once, like say, just say that you mail that letter on today from the post office. Today is the 21st, and you get a receipt showing that that letter come back. I mean, that they received it, and it was on Tuesday, the 24th, on the 24th. All right, from that day, you got 30 days. They have 30 days to respond to you. And if they do not respond to you within that period of time, what they have to do is either correct it or take it off of your credit.
Okay.
They have to identify you or take it off your credit. Okay? So there are several different letters. There's another that this is for the federal debt collection companies here, the FDCPA. Most people don't think about, about the federal reporting. But here's one for the FDC. This goes more so for the businesses. So here's another set of letters that you may have to, if the primary letters, these ones up here that I've been talking about, usually those are the ones that go to TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian. Okay? And this right here goes to the companies or even Nexus Lexus. These others got direct dispute to creditor, the debt validation, cease and desist, HIPAA violation, all of these things here. So if you want to Google and find out what type of letter you need to send to the FDCPA. You got letters for fraud and identity theft. That's a whole lot of that's going on today. People are getting hit and don't even know they've gotten hit. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us what FDCPA stands for again?
Yes, ma'am. I knew you was gonna ask that. And that's the one that I always have issue with. It is the Federal Debt Collections, and that P is what gets me. Wanna Google it?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Federal Debt Collection. What is that P? It does, and because we don't. What is it?
Privacy?
Is it? I'm thinking, no, it's not privacy. I don't think. And because we don't deal a lot with that one, and I should have. So now this is one of the times that you. Huh?
Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.
Say it again.
Practices.
Practices, absolutely. There again, now y'all can talk to Sister Klein for inviting me because I didn't know what that was. Okay. Okay. So again, there's so many different things that you need to know, and that's why, like I said, we put as a company, we put so much into this software program that allow you to be able to fix your credit, and as stated in the video, you want to be able to do it step by step. Okay. There's a way. Also, in your handout, I may have given you all my handout. There's a handout that says, talk about the street letters, y'all see it should be right out here. Okay, you should have it right on top. Sample factual dispute letters. Y'all have that in your packet? Okay. All right, and that right there is giving you examples of what needs to be in the letter. Now, this is certainly is not all the letters, okay? Because different things must go in different letters. What our software has done, once you identify the example.
They find a free letter online, copy and paste it, and send it off without even reading it.
Sorry about that. What our software has done, once you determine which letter, you need to send the letters already done. It's already created. Only thing you have to do, like I said, with the first part of it, like I said, you type your name in it and your address, all the information, it is already done, it is already formulated. And in this formulation, this is professional to the point because the credit agencies, because so many people now are filing these reports to, fix their credit, and they're doing it based off of the old system. Then you got some that they started now using chat and Google, and they're putting these letters together, all right? And the systems at these credit bureau, these agencies, what they're doing now, they run it, what is it, when you're in college, and you write a report, and you turn it in, and they what?
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism. They're saying, no, this right here is too factual, too whatever. They're protecting themselves. That's what they're doing. But what our experts have done is that we created, It is 99% fail-proof. We have people that have been using, they started using this software, and they've walked on through the system, sent the letters, did what they need to do, and they've gone from 5, the credit scores are 500, because credit scores can go as low as 300, up to 850. And people have been getting their credit scores up to 800. I know 2 people that got 850. But like I said, they've gotten it from low 500s up to in their 700s, high 700s. Okay, any questions about that? Any questions? Okay. Well, that's the biggest part of this concerning credit and showing the importance, and that's what I hope that you see, that it is important to get your credit report. Now, if you want to get your score, see what your score is, then you can order your scores as well. You get a report for that, and you can go to MyFICO, MyFICO. That will help you, that will show you what your scores are on and the report. But they have a free one, which is by Equifax, and they're really the ones who put it together. So you got that one, but you only get one report. You want to get the minimum of all 3 reports. So the first one is free, the Equifax one. That's a free report. You can get it every month, you know, and they'll give you your score, but it's only on that. My credit union is TransUnion only. They don't deal with Equifax. They don't deal with Experian. It's TransUnion only. Okay? So then you have the next level of the advanced. Then it's like $39.95 a month. And people go, woo, man, why I gotta pay for it? Well, your credit, what is it worth to you? Getting it fixed. But I wanna let you know this as well, that with most of them, you get like 7 days free. And if you can get your stuff, get it downloaded, and do what you need to do, you know, go for it. They know it. They know people are doing it. But that's only for that 1 month. That's only for that 1 month. You know, like, so if you're going through, you want to know about your credit. Yes, ma'am.
Can you give us the credit score breakdown? Do you have that?
I did not prepare that. It is,
I
let me
have it,
see.
if you want me to read it.
Oh, you got it?
Uh-huh.
That'd be perfect, absolutely.
So your payment history is like 35% of your credit.
Yes, I did.
And that's the most important factor. If you miss one 30-day late payment, could drop your score 60 to 100
Absolutely.
points. Your credit utilization, that is what your credit, the total amount of your balances put together. You should not utilize more than 30% of that. So keep your balance under 30%. Excellent if it's 10%. Example is $1,000 limit, you wanna keep it under like $100 to $300. Okay, the length of your credit history is how long you have had any credit card. A lot of people, when they get ready to clean up their credit, they go out and they wanna close everything out. Well, what you closing out is your history, and you might not wanna do that. So, you know, like if there's something gonna drop off of your credit report, and say like in 7 years, and you already, it's been on there for 4 or 5 years, it may be beneficial to you to just leave that there.
There, that's right.
Okay, because it's already, your credit has already taken the hit for whatever it's gonna do. It's not hurting your credit at all at that point. Let it fall off. After 7 years, you can write a letter to the credit bureau and let them know, hey, this is past statute of limitations, you need to get this off my credit report, and they will do that. The other thing is, I told you the credit history is 15%, right? Then your credit mix, that means your revolving loan, your installment loans, they look at it. the store credit, all of that comes into your mix. And they like to see that you can handle different types of loans. You know, and you may have a car loan, you may have a mortgage, you may have a store loan. So that makes up that 10%. New credit inquiries, and that's what he was talking about when you go purchase a car. If you're getting ready to look for a car, you want to do it all in the same time frame, because then they will take one hit instead of taking 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hits. If you go this month, then go next month, then go next month. So you want to be careful about that. So multiplication in a short time lowers your scores temporarily. You can call for your own credit, and it will be a soft credit. But if anybody on the outside other than you call, it will be a hard credit, and hard credits will stay on for 1 to 2 years.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm feeling like a good man for this, thank you. Absolutely, all
So
right.
you're saying that the more times that people check your credit, the worse your credit becomes?
Correct. Correct. More time, every time, before I knew better, I was going to the car dealerships, and when I went in, my credit score was good. But they would go in and they come back and they said, well, we got this right here, but we got another bank that we want to check with. And this has been several years ago. Now they're doing better about doing what they call soft hits. But most of them, when they're really trying to get you in, get you to buy a car, it's going to be a hard hit. So every time they check it, your score goes down. Your score goes down. Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I did have that. I do have it. It's in there, but I can't remember. Don't remember exactly where it is. All right. Any other questions concerning credit? Because we're gonna go to budget if we got time. Because budget won't be long. Okay. No questions? All minds clear? Well, that's really good, actually.
Don't make any sense. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like get penalized for having good credit. And somebody check it.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yes, sir. And they, like I talked about earlier, my economy, that's what this is about, your personal economy. It is about, you have to know about your own money, about your own credit, about your budgets, what you're gonna do, you absolutely do. Okay? Okay, we're gonna go on over here now to budgets and why they are important. Budgets and why they are important. Meaning of a budget is simply a plan for your money before you spend it. It tells your money where to go instead of just wandering out there somewhere. And many times that's what happens with us, is that our money, like I said, we get our check. I remember my daughter, she was waiting on payday. She had some payments already set up, you know, to draft, cause she knew, okay, well I can go ahead and get this cause I don't want it to be late, you know, everything like that. And I know when to come out the bank, it usually take about 2 days, you know, to come out. And then when she got her check in the bank, she's like, woo, I done got paid, you know, and she doing her thing. And, but she forgot that, hey, baby, you got a budget. And you gotta know about your budget. You need to know what's coming out, what's getting ready to come out, what's gonna hit your auto pays, your auto drafts. You need to know about those. You cannot do what a lot of us do, is get your paycheck on Friday or whatever day it is, and then immediately go out to eat wherever you want to eat. You normally go to Popeyes or somewhere like that, but when you get your check, if it comes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, man, you're gonna go to Red Lobster and get the Captain's Fare or whatever the thing. What, now they got.
The fees is the
Yeah, the
cap.
fees. Oh, it's the fees, you know about that one, okay. And then you ain't thought about, wait a minute, I got some bills that's coming in. Why is that? Because you haven't watched your budget. The purpose of a budget is to give you control over your finances. That's the purpose of it. Help you live within your means, allow you to reach your goals. You got savings, investing, getting out of debt, whatever your goal is. That's the purpose of your debt. It reduces stress and confusion. That right there is so powerful. That when you have a budget, you know where your money is going. You told your money where to go. It is so powerful because it reduces stress and it removes confusion. A budget is not restriction, it's direction. I want to write that down. If you have a problem with I don't think I need no budget. It's not about restriction. It's about direction. Okay? The importance of a budget. Without a budget, money disappears. Anybody ever had that happen? Like, what happened to my money? I know I had enough money. Without a budget, debt increases. Your money go down, but your debts go up. Let me give you another debt that a lot of people encounter every month, sometimes 2, sometimes 4 times a month. That's NSF fees.
Non-sufficient funds.
Insufficient, non-sufficient funds. I know a lady, she said, that's okay because my bank pays it. No, baby, you paying it. You paying it. And like, now it used to be $5. I remember when it was like $5. And now it's, what, $35? $25, $35, depending on where you go, where you bank. And those fees, that's money that's coming that I know you didn't budget for. And so now your debt is increasing from somewhere else. Then you upset, you mad, your stress goes up. But with the budget, you gain clarity. Now your mind's clear. You build discipline. Like now that takes right there, you're talking about your discipline. That right there may take you a little while to do it. But it also helps you to create stability. Now once you get used to it, you say, okay, it gets better. You ever had anything drafted from your check, your paycheck, each pay period? And at first it was like, whoa, boy, man, they taking this money out of my check. Then you get to the point, it's not a big deal. You don't even miss it anymore. Because you've learned, you've adapted to being able to live within your budget for that check. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will always leave you. It will always leave you. You gotta tell it where to go. When should a budget be created? Actually, before the month begins. That's the best. So at the beginning of the month, you say, I get paid, every week, every 2 weeks, 1st and 15th, or whatever, 15th and 30th. But the first of the month, you basically, you know what your debts are, your bills. You should have those written down and then know what is about to take place. Before you receive your income, now this is the ideal mindset, because most of the time we sit down and make out our bills when we get our check. When we get paid, that's when, okay, well I got this, and we're gonna talk about that. So you plan first, you spend second. Y'all got that? I want to write that down. Plan first, spend second. That is so important. Now this, I really like this part right here. Who needs a budget? People who make a lot of money. Yes. Everybody. Those folks that make a lot of money, they lose more money than broke folks. You don't really realize. It's just going. And I was guilty of that. I was guilty of it. Man, I had money coming in, and like I said, money coming in every day, you know, because of my multiple streams of income. And man, I was just buying stuff whenever I got ready. And then I looked at my statements, and I'm like, you know what? Man, I'm throwing away a whole lot of money. And I did not realize. What's my biggest debt? What's my biggest debt? Anybody know what my biggest debt was?
Probably eating out.
Eating out. That's how I knew about it. That's what we do. Eating out. And that's happened to most people. You know when the biggest time that a restaurant makes their money?
Weekend.
Tax time.
What do you say?
Tax time.
We
Daytime?
Tax time.
Income tax time? Yeah, that too, certainly that.
Everyone hates
we-
I'm talking about every week.
paydays around
The day before payday. The day before payday. You get paid on Friday, people like, man, let's go out to eat. I ain't cooking tonight.
Yeah.
I get my check tomorrow.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. And we go out on the night before payday. Whether it's on the 14th, you get paid on the 15th. You got to look at your bank account and bills paid, and you go in, you look at it and say, okay, we got enough money, let's go out. But I get my check tomorrow. And so that right there, you got to be really careful. People who make little money, yes, you need a budget. Most of the time, people who don't make a lot of money think that they don't need a budget because I know what's coming in, I know what I got, and I can only pay what I'm going to pay. That's understandable. But if you have a budget that's created and outlined, then you know, say, okay, well, this, I need to focus on this. Instead of letting them catch you and the bill collector start calling and telling you, you need to get this paid. We finna shut you off. You 2 months behind. But if you had your budget set up, at least, you know, you could have made maybe a picking arrangement. You could have done that. And a lot of times we think, because I'm not making that much money, I don't need it. Single people need a budget as well. I know what, you know, I'm the only one that's in the house, I know about my check. You need a budget. Certainly married people. Certainly married people. And particularly if both of y'all in the same account. Can I get a witness? That's one of the biggest fights that I've seen. Her, him, spending what they want to spend it on. And they're based on their paycheck, not on the cumulative amount of both of their checks. Business owners, again, just because you got the money in the account does not mean you don't need a budget. Okay? All right. The amount of money you make does not remove the need for a plan. Retired people. Should retired people have a budget?
Amen.
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 I often hear people say, I'm on a fixed income, especially as a pastor, you know, say, hey, I want to do something special here, I want everybody to do whatever. But pastor, you got to understand, I'm on a fixed income. Well, baby, most of us on a fixed income. On a fixed income. I know what my check gonna be every month.
Yep.
So like I said, you know, when you're on a fixed income, especially if you're only getting paid once a month.
Once a month.
My goodness. So no room for any major mistakes. You don't need an accountant or a CPA for a budget. You only need discipline, honesty, and a simple system. All right. Number 8, parents. How many parents of children, young children that's still in the home? Anybody in here we got a child that's still in the home? All right. Anybody got any grandchildren? And they still at home?
No.
Anybody know somebody?
You know somebody.
This is, again, the purpose in this, and we got the children going over here for the finance part of it, and I'm so glad to hear that it's still a financial education for them. and that is, teenagers. They need a budget too. Teenagers, preteens. If they're making some money, my grandson, well, he's 13 now, but he's been making money, since he's 13, 11, 12. He was 10 or 11. He's been making money online. He's been making money online. Every month, he's pulling in $200 to $500 a month. That's money's coming straight in him because he learned how to work the system. His dad is an entrepreneur. I taught him that, and so he encourages his kids. But you know what? Josh, my son, does for his boys. They got two of them. Both of them make money. The baby boy, I joke, he gonna go down and do like we used to do old school. He gonna buy some candy and go to school and sell it. Hope he don't get caught. And so, you know what Josh does? He charges them. He says, you got two things you gotta pay me for. You're gonna give me 25% of taxes to go towards your taxes, and you're gonna pay me rent. They like, couldn't believe it. I've shared that with some folks, and some folks thought that right there is ludicrous. He is a slave what you call him, you know?
Slave driver.
Yeah, and so, but this is what he's doing. He's taking that money and he's putting it in an investment account for them. They don't like giving it up. They don't like giving it up, but hey, give me the money. They don't know that he's putting it in an investment account. Their name's on it. Him, his mom, Josh and Angel, parents, and the kid's name is on there. They're investing in the 529. They're doing that also. They created a budget for it. They have insurance policies that's growing for their children. Guess what? This is what white folks been doing all along. Been doing all along. I was looking at Leave It to Beaver at 7 o'clock one morning about a month or so ago. Channel 49, Me TV. Anybody know about Me TV? I watched Leave It to Beaver, and Beaver and Wally had found out about stocks. And Beaver said, I don't know about this. He said, Wally said, let's go talk to Dad. And Dad says, yes, sit down, son, let me tell you. And they went to the newspaper at that point. He pulled out the newspaper. He started teaching them about stocks. Now, we've been hearing this for a long time, and that is that white folk been teaching their kids about this, and our parents didn't teach us nothing. You ever heard that before? Mm-hmm. Our parents didn't know nothing.
Right.
They didn't know it. So why we gonna get mad and be fussing at that? But the thing about it, now you learn, so you can teach your children and your grandchildren and the kid next door. Anybody ever heard of Rich Dad, Poor Dad? There's a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You never heard of that? Write that down. Great book. Great book. Yes, sir.
You know, most of our introduction to budgets came when we were going to school, at least for me, and this like 65, 70 years ago.
Okay.
And it was introduced by that certain amount of money you get for buying lunch every week.
Yes, sir.
So you knew that
Right.
I got to spend just so much every day in order to be able to have my lunch paid for all the week.
Oh, wait.
And so that was an introduction of budgeting.
Fantastic.
then. And we didn't stress that kind of thing then.
Okay.
You know, and most folks in our community really weren't concerned about budgeting because they didn't have enough to even think about budgeting. They tried to make it from day to day. Yeah, so,
And-
a lot
and-
of instances, that's the case today.
Great segue into number 9. Do you need a budget if you have no income? Yes. You say, like, what am I budgeting for? Because you still got expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Bills still coming. Whether you got a check or not. But you need a plan for when the income shows up. You have to have a plan for that. Because again, we're going back to talking about discipline, talking about creating habits and creating them early. That's what we have to do. We have to make sure that we put it together and that we work on this. Because it's, again, from the beginning, what we've been talking about today, mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Mindset. All right. You should have, let me see, did I give you all a simple budget worksheet? Okay. So you got your budget worksheet, and there's one more thing that I want to hit on, and that is y'all familiar with the 10-80-10 rule? What is that? What is 10-80-10? 10-80-10.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
10%, 80%, 10%, self 50%, save 10%, spend 80%.
Okay, all right, absolutely. I like to call it the 10-10-80. Because 10%, first of all, go to tithes. Y'all know I'm sticking for that, not because I'm a pastor. I'm talking about for my personal life. I trust God. 10% for that. 10% to savings. When I get my paycheck, when I get money, 10% of it. I get paid from Facebook also. I get a check every month from Facebook. I tell you, broke Christian is an oxymoron. We don't have to be broke. I found out you what? Yeah, what do I need to do? I'm out here on Facebook all the time anyway. So, here it is. 10% of it goes to the Lord. 10% of it goes to me. In that order. I'm going to pay myself first. And then that 80% is left up to everybody else. Okay? So 10% tithe, 10% to savings. Now, what is this savings? This savings be as far as your 401k, it can be towards your mutual fund. You want to go with what is an interest-bearing account. You need an interest-bearing account. Don't just put it in your credit union savings account. At least get a CD. At least. But there's so many things that's out there now that is paying high interest. I have a program, a platform that I've become a part of, me and my family, and we get 60, on an average of 65 to 68% return. And people look at that ain't true. You gonna call me a liar right in church? You think I'm a liar in church? 65 to 68% return is what I'm getting. They said, well, what does that mean? That's interest that's being paid on my money.
Yes, sir.
And that money is growing exponentially. So when instead of, like I said, with my budget, instead of me just getting and going and throwing it away,
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I get paid. Because remember, I know how it feels to have laid up for 4 years and not be able to work and lose all credit, all of my investments, my savings, and I got to build that back up. And I thank God because I trust God. I kept tithing on whatever we had, and God continued to bless. Then I found out about this 6 to 8. Now, if you want to get some information on that, we can talk about that at a different time. That's available. All right. Any questions concerning budget?
I've invested in credit cards that pay you back.
Credit cards that pay you back. Absolutely. You putting in with that, but then when they pay you back, you take their money and then you invest it. You put it into, don't just run your card up and don't just spend that extra money. It's about mindset. So we got to make sure that our children understand and start understanding it now and young. how awesome it is. I loved it. Y'all church may be able to do this. That, what was that? Bellevue. Anybody familiar with Bellevue Baptist Church over in Memphis? Well, anyway, Bellevue, pastor got up Sunday morning and he says, church, we are getting ready to build a new youth facility, and it's going to be $1 million down for us to start. But don't worry about it, we got it. We're not going to do a campaign. We already have the money. Why? Because the people were giving. The people were trusting God. They had to have it in order to give it. And so they would, and that's how awesome it is and wonderful it may be, that we budgeted for those monies. Now, I'm done. I got to stop here. Ms. Klein, that was talking about the 50-30. What was that one? That was on the flyer. He was talking about the 50-30-20. The 50-30-20. You remember that? Said, huh? It was on the flyer. I can't remember. It was on the flyer. I can't remember if I said something to you about it or not. But anyway, that one go deeper. But we want to start with the 10-10-80. We want to start with that. All right. Thank y'all so much for this. I hope that I said something to prove beneficial in your daily walk and certainly with your walk with Jesus Christ. So I'm going to stay here, and if anybody as far as like I got T-shirts up here concerned business, also these books we have. If you want to get a signed copy of the book, you have it. I am doing a special on all of the books. Normally, if you go out to Amazon, they're ranging anywhere from $20 to $40 a piece. When I do the seminars, I do them all for $5. Not all of them together, $5 individually. Okay, $5 individually. So like I said, if you want to get a book, you can. Also for T-shirts, they're $5. I normally sell those for special events. Once again, with me being here in the ministry with you all, they are $5 as well. So everything, $5 if you'd like to see that. Okay. Do we have any other questions? If you want to go even deeper in this and take part in this software program concerning credit, debt elimination, investing, all of those different things, see me here today. And with that, we can just give you free information where you can go out and take a look at the website that's made available to you, and any questions that you may have, we have it for you. We give you the answer, but it would be a great thing, like to have it and to see families growing and their lives changing, knowing that God is in their business and they're letting him in.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you
That's
so much.
beautiful. Amen.
So we want to thank Pastor Dandredge, and now Sister Linda's gonna come back and she got some door prizes.
I got them, how we gonna do it?
Uh-oh.
You got the questions?
You give me some?
I saw you writing a hundred.
I take notes all the time.
Okay, just